I'm here with Andy Lakeman, founder and director at Atlantic House Group. Welcome, Andy.
Nice to be here.
Describe your strategy in a few words with perhaps an explanation of the term rules-based.
Okay, so what we're trying to do at a master fund level is to generate with equity-like returns, which historically have been 7 to 8% net of fees, and be able to generate those returns over the medium to longer term in all but the bleakest market conditions. And by bleakest market conditions, we suggest that Japan's a pretty good proxy for bleakest market conditions because it's taken 33 years for the Nikkei to kind of get back to its sort of level of 1990. So, and we're investing in things with big margins for error. So markets can be, flat, sideways, they can be up, they can be down quite a bit, and we can still make our return.
Less sophisticated investors might be a bit fearful when they learn that the fund is based on derivatives. So how do you think an advisor can influence the views of clients in that conversation?
Yeah, well, I think derivatives have kind of quite rightly at times sort of earned a bad rap and for some of the disasters that have happened. But I think when advisors think about some of the blue chip stocks they invest in, I know Qantas is the bête noire at the moment for investors and the media, but Qantas will have a fuel hedging strategy in place. Derivatives were really designed originally to help farmers hedge agricultural prices or their agricultural produce. And I think if we can just help advisors and their clients understand ultimately what the outcome is likely to be and the journey, then they'll lose that fear.
As this strategy is new to Australia, can you take us through how UK investors use it? Is it mainly to reduce risk or to generate income?
I think the UK clients originally saw the sort of stuff we did and they put it in the broad church of like alternatives. Now, a lot of UK investors that didn't have a lot of what you call pure alternatives. There was lack of choice. A lot of them were in listed format where you had equity market volatility. And they lumped infrastructure, property, and this type of derivative stuff in their alternative space. So anything that wasn't fixed income or outright equity, we've always urged people to view it as defensive equity because ultimately it is linked to the equity market. It's correlated to equities. So we really now urge people to think of it as defensive equity. And that would be how we would view it.
How should advisors assess volatility on the one hand versus sequencing risk for their clients?
Well, I think they've got to accept volatility comes with markets. And sometimes by targeting volatility, obsessing about it, you kind of miss out on what the client's really scared about, which is long-term or permanent loss of capital. And we don't target volatility. We accept the volatility that comes with investing in markets. There can be periods when it's lower in our fund. There are periods when it's higher. But what we come back to when we think about sequencing risk is if you look at how long it takes for markets to recover after big drawdowns, and there have been in my career more than I'd care to mention, having these kind of broad parameters, having these kind of low stock market requirements to still make a return really deals with that sequencing risk problem. Because is the market toppy today? You could speak to 10 people, 5 might say yes, 5 might say no. Somebody who's retired really doesn't care. They're just scared about the big drawdown and not having enough time to recover. And I think we do address that.
Andy, you're obviously from the old dart, Blighty. So which sport do you think has the greatest rivalry between Australia and the UK? Is it cricket, rugby, football or sledging?
I think the greatest rivalry is undoubtedly cricket. The rivalry, that's the sort of where the intensity is the highest. And as a Brit living in Australia, once every 4 years, it's awful being here. That's the only time I hate it because you can be in a fruit shop with an old lady who's 80 and she'll sledge you if the Poms, as we normally are getting beaten or on our way to a whitewash. So I think the biggest rivalry is definitely the cricket. And you can see that because when we beat Australia, you can see how much it means to everyone from England.
Oh, it's a national disaster when that happens. Andy Lakeman, Atlantic House Group.
Thanks
for being here.
Thank you, James.